there, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to share with you how to make these sweet little stocking die from Stampin' Up, the Big Shot die, into a witch's boot. So you're going to start with two basic black boots, and the very first thing you're going to do is cut yourself a heel. Now you don't want to make this very big, so I probably go up about 1/4 inch, and then you're just going to kind of meet up with that cut. So you literally are just cutting off a tiny, tiny little wedge. That's step number one. Next, you're going to use a 3.5 inch circle punch. So there is a 3.5 inch Big Shot die. And then you're going to punch out of it a 1 3/4 inch wedge. This circle is going to get mounted on the back side of your boot. And what you want to try, your goal is to get this to look as smooth as possible, this curved inset here. And once you're happy with it, you're going to just schmuck that down, and you can see hopefully that that looks like a witch's boot. Again, this is not my idea. I've just seen them kind of all over the internet and taken ideas from different places and decided to shoot a video because so many of you were asking. And now I'm going to then just copy exactly what I've done. So to do this, I'm going to line up my circles together. Okay, and then I'm going to take my other boot and I'm going to try and match those up really perfectly there. Okay, and if it's not exact, I can always trim. But you can see here that my seams are on the insides of my boots. Okay, and then through the wonders of TV, you're going to run it through the Big Shot, and running it through the Big Shot then hides this seam a little bit better. Okay. And if you want to, you can reinforce this edge. I should put a little bit of adhesive there. But remember when you run it through the Big Shot to run one through one direction and one through the other direction, so the embossed part is the same on the outsides of your boots. So that's how you create the basic shape of the boot. Now let's look at embellishing it. You're going to take the stocking top part, your die, and I've just run some adhesive. I've got about a 5-inch strip of designer series paper. And I use the scalloped edge punch from Stampin' Up. And I'm just going to start the crinkle there, start the paper at the edge. I put my finishing piece on. And then to get that little ruffled look, without actually having to sew and ruffle, I just take my DSP and literally just kind of mold it as I go along. And you're going to get that naturally ruffled look on the boot. Cute, hey? I'll show you that again really quickly. So line up your front, line up your back, and then you're just going to smooch it along as you go. That's a word, right? Smooch. And stamping up designer series paper works way easier than cardstock. If you use cardstock, it works. Just make sure you really break those paper fibers up and crinkle that paper lots before you try and ruffle it. So now you can see that I've got the top of my boot to go on. And now we need to make a box. Now the trick to the box, this one is, let me think, 3 inches by 8.5, scored at 4 and 4.5. And then this is a 1/2 inch, and then this is also a 1/2 inch tab. This is only going to make a box that's 1/2 inch thick. So once it's scored, you're just going to cut your tabs here. And then you're just going to fold it up. You'll notice I have adhesive all over the side here. And that's because that's going to stick to my boot. You can certainly make a wider box. And the wider you make your box, all you're going to do is increase the width of the paper. And that will increase the width of your box. But remember, the bigger you make your box, the more stuff you're going to want to put in it. And if you do that, you have to be careful because your boots are going to want to fall over. So what I mean, right now, this box fits perfectly inside my boot upright. But when your boots sit, they want to actually tilt back a little bit. My box is going like this, so as long as I have something light in it, it's not going to force it to fall over. But if you wanted it to be a heavier weighted box, make sure you make a box that's going to fit in your boot like this and can be wider so it doesn't want to tip over. Just a little tip there. Okay, so I'm going to put this box on. I'm going to line up my top boot, and then I'll just show you a few little tricks that I did to embellish. Just took little pieces of satin ribbon And those are going to be my little boot laces. I've got adhesive on the ends. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to add obviously my ruffled tops. I made this flower that's going to go on the boot, tons of pearls, and a little bit of this lace that's on the Stampin' Up! Clearance rack right now. So I'm going to go ahead and finish embellishing it, and you'll see the finished boot at the end of the video. Thanks so much for stopping by. Check out my blog at stampwithheather.ca for lots of more spectacular Halloween prizes, not prizes, sorry, creations. Have a great day.